Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios here in an undisclosed location in New Jersey, the mountaintops of New Jersey where Beer Baron's at. He's got the greatest view from the highest point in New Jersey. Shorts guy and Scotty, and everybody likes Scotty.
Love
from
him.
Beverly Hills, California.
Came all the way to New Jersey.
Yeah.
In 24 hours, is doing a podcast from the East Coast to the West Coast. I mean, he should have stopped off in, like, Kansas and just dropped a 5-minute little hit when Timo Meier trade was going down. But, you know, they can't really force the plane to go down no matter how popular Scotty is. We got him, boys.
Well, I want to welcome all those tuning in. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, Season 6, Episode 21, streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Scotty, Beer Baron, and Shorts Guy. Well, before we address the elephant in the room, just want to thank all those that came out to American Whiskey yesterday to celebrate our 500,000 party after surpassing 500,000 downloads. A lot of people showed up, just so many people to name, and also special thanks to American Whiskey, Frank, Casey, and everybody at the bar. Just amazing time, and also one other thing is thank you, the fans, again, for everything. All right, guys. Timo Meier, just news just breaking out from NHL.com. I'll let you guys talk, but that was an expensive deal in my opinion. That's my opinion only. But,
hold on. I just sent you something that you might want to read.
Okay. I'll
because apparently there's more to the deal than is being released. So the New Jersey Devils, and this is, let me just check my source before I start saying this out. This is from Christy Flannery, so it's a very reliable source. The New Jersey Devils today acquired forward Timo Meier, Timur Ibragimov, defenseman Scott Harrington, Santeri. Oh, man, I should have had you guys read all these names.
Go ahead.
Hadaka, goaltender Zachary Emmon, and a 5th-round pick, originally Colorado selection, in the 2024 NHL Draft. The San Jose Sharks receive New Jersey's 1st-round pick in 2023. Conditional. Wait, this is very confusing. Defenseman Shakir. Go ahead, say it again. Mohamed Doolin. Hoyt-Uk. Forwards Andreas, don't call me Johnson, Zetterlund, and a conditional second round selection in the 2024 NHL Draft, and a 7th-round selection in the 2024 second round. Or, geez, I'm all over the place. San Jose will retain 50% of Meier's 2023 or 22-23 salary as a part of the trade. The announcement came via Tom Fitzgerald. So I don't see them sending out, R.I.P. Andre Johnson.
It's gone.
R.I.P.
I just took it down.
Take it down.
Yep.
Take it down. Get it out of here. But I don't see, I was trying to read this quickly. I can't read aloud, and I can't pronounce names, so don't, get mad at me. But I just, reading through that, it only seems like they gave up the one first-round pick, unless that condition on that second pick is that it is turning into a first-round pick if he signs long-term, which I think that's what that is. So it's a second-round pick unless he signs long-term, and then it turns into a first-round pick. But the Devils get a lot more in return, and they didn't have to give up Holtz. They did not have to give up Nemec. They did not have to give up Hughes. They did not have to give up any of their big-time prospects, although some might disagree that Mohamed Doolin. They did not have to give up Dawson, which is huge because he's lighting the world on fire right now. I think this is a solid deal because if you think about those 2 first-round picks, the way the Devils are playing right now, they're going to be late back-end first-round picks. And you know what? We've had enough first-round picks to save us for a couple of years. It's time to start putting our assets into the other hand and putting them and using them for getting something like this. And this is an amazing day. Couldn't be happier. That's why I can't really talk right now.
So, if I'm counting correctly, that's a 10-player trade.
Wild.
Which is wild. That is so wild that there's 10 players. What is that? About 4 or 5 picks that are being transferred as well.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know why this deal took a little while, I mean, look at all the pieces to it. But
yeah,
let's also not shy away from the fact that this is one of the first trades in a couple trades that have gone in the league where it's only 2 teams involved. There's not like a third bankrolling team to that's taking part of someone's salary. So it's an interesting trade. That's for damn sure. And hey, we got our guy. We got Timo Meier, and I think everyone was hoping for him. We didn't lose Dawson Mercer. That was my worry. That was the one player I did not want to lose. I did not want to lose Dawson Mercer one bit.
Agreed.
I'm a little bummed that we're not going to see what Mohamed Doolin's going to turn into, because I had high hopes for him.
Yep.
But hey, you know what? I mean, if you want to, it's the nature of the business. If you want to get better and you want to bring in better players, this is what you have to do sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. And not for nothing, getting a guy who scored 30 goals the last couple of seasons, put up 35 last year, already has 31 this year, is a proven commodity, as opposed to a defenseman who might take a couple of years to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we have, a few other guys that are in the system. We didn't have to give up Seamus Casey. We didn't have to give up a lot of pieces that still our farm system's pretty well stacked. I'm telling you, dude, I'm pumped about this trade. It also makes that the Devils have maybe more than one line for a power play unit, so maybe they can start splitting these guys up a little bit and have 2, relatively good power play units, and maybe like a 1A line power play unit where they roll out, Timo and Nico and freaking Jack and Jasper and just basically and Dougie, and just basically like pepper the hell out of the other team. This is insane.
Yeah. It's let's see, what is our next game? Tomorrow or Tuesday?
Wednesday. That's right, in Colorado.
Okay, so my guess is all these players may potentially meet the Devils in Colorado, or they may come out tomorrow. That's a lot of cross-country travel if you're going to come here and then go west to Colorado. But it is a 3-game swing. Oh man, it's a bummer we can't be out at the Mullet on Sunday night, because that would just be a ton of fun.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's not too late if you want to catch a red eye and just like Scotty. I mean, we could just fly cross country. Scotty, you haven't really said much. I know you might be jet lagged, but
yeah, I'm just reading about this. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting trade.
Yes. And then I read a book, and then I put.
I'm trying to read all these
with this analysis.
I'm trying to look at all these people that we're bringing back. I mean, it looks like we're bringing back a defenseman and a forward.
Mm-hmm.
They're both basically the same build. I don't know. I guess what I'm thinking here is, this is if that conditional second round pick turns into another first. That's essentially 3 first round picks, because Mohamed Doolin was a first round pick as well.
First round pick, yep.
So that's that's something. I don't know about this goaltender, but these other 2, Scott Harrington is kind of a journeyman defenseman. The other 2 prospects don't seem to. I don't know. I have to do some more research on. I was just reading up on them. but they both kind of project the same way. One's playing, I think, one's from Finland, right? The other's Russian. I don't know. I'm happy, I guess, for Muhammadulin and Ahoytuk because they're going to get their shots. Same thing with Zetterland and Janssen. They'll definitely get a lot of playing time for them. Yeah, I guess I was a little. I guess what I was thinking in the sense of, I honestly thought they were shopping Ball more, and I was wondering if they were going to move Riley Walsh instead of Muhammadulin or a Hoytuk, in the sense that you have a Nemec and a Luke Hughes come in, and Riley Walsh. I'm not sure where he fits in there because he immediately moves down the chain with them, and he's more of a puck-moving offensive side defenseman. And we've talked about needing that beef on the back end. So I mean, I'm glad that these guys, they're all going to get a shot in San Jose. So good for them because they're all going to get to play, and they may have been kind of forced out anyway. But I want to read up more about the prospects that we got back. I mean, I know the 50% retention is nice. Getting Janssen out of the system opens up some money as well. I had a feeling Zetterland would be involved. I'd rather Zetterland, no offense to Zets, but I'd rather Zetterland than Sharon Govich or Dawson Mercer wasn't on the. Let's face it, he was not on the table. Dawson Mercer,
no way.
Hughes, Nemec. Fans can say what they want, but
everybody's saying guys, you don't sound too excited about this. You seem very monotone. He's got to do research, guys. Get him some time to do a little. He's got to brush up.
I'm trying to read about all this.
He's wearing the glasses right now. He's serious about
it. I'm not sure what the condition is for the second round pick. We don't really have that information fully. I don't know about this goaltender. All I know is, I know about Timo and I know about Harrington, but I don't know about the other prospects. Which it makes me a little curious. Why would they be swapping so much?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if these
I think
are
it's to facilitate pieces into this trade, but you bring up a good question of they have moved a lot to make this happen, right? Trade deadline isn't until Thursday. There's a strong possibility. Friday. Is it Friday? I thought it was Thursday. Friday. All right. Either way, Friday, Thursday. Who gives a damn? Green jacket, gold jacket. Who gives it? Whatever. But so I wouldn't be shocked if Fitz makes another move. The question is does he try to go after something else in this? Does he try to go and now he goes takes Severson and turns him into Bozer or something like that, or who knows?
Well, we need to shore up our defense. I'm not sure that this shores up defense in any way because you lost two of your kind of stud defensive products there.
Chitrin from the Coyotes. Although we don't have any first round picks to give out anymore, so
no,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I mean, it's a good. Obviously you're acquiring a massive talent with Timo. There's no extension on this, so it is just right now. I mean, he will have that $10 million restricted qualifying offer next year, but as of now, there is no extension. Who knows? Maybe they're already. Hopefully, maybe Fitzy is working on that. I'm not really, this, and also the reporting on this trade has been so just crapshoot. It's so
that's
so much.
That's because we're in the process of it's because of how everything is now, because everybody wants to be the first one to break it. So everybody jumps
but
to
there's just so much
break.
There's so many fake accounts and just BS out there. I don't know. When you get football trades or you get baseball trades, you got a couple of really reliable sources that are hitting it out there for you, and you're there you go. I know Elliot Friedman came out, but then he was just hang on, it's not done. Yeah, hang on, wait. No,
at 10 to 8, he was saying it could potentially be falling apart, or it wasn't done, or whatever he was saying on TSN. It's
I don't know. Just the reporting on this trade is just like, do I believe this? Do I actually believe that this is final, or are we going to find out there's like more? But I mean, this does say it comes from. This announcement was made by Fitzy.
No, it's official. It's official. Everybody, Pierre, LeBron, everybody was saying it's official about an hour ago or give or take. It's insane. It's insane. We're right now adding him to this team. Look at how many guys because Dawson Mercer's sitting at 19. You could assume that he's going to, on the streak that he's on right now, he'll get 20 within the next game or two. Look at how many guys have 20-plus goals this year. When the hell was the last time we had over 2 guys have 20-plus goals in this team? So
it's been a while.
Offensively,
and we're gonna have a 40. We're gonna have a 40-plus goal scorer in about.
We might have 2. We might have 2 40-goal scorers. You might have Timo pushing 40.
Yeah,
you might have Hughes pushing 40. You got he's probably going to be pushing 30. I mean, right now offensively we're sitting pretty good. Yes, defensively they need to shore up a few things because they've had some sloppy play, except for that game last night where they absolutely smoked the Flyers. And I'll tell you what, being at that game last night, Shorts guy, you could probably agree. That felt pretty damn good to just watch them just go out there and walk the Flyers right out the building.
And did they ever even did the Flyers ever change their goalie in the middle of all that last night or no?
No, because that's Tortorella's thing, man.
Think so.
He leaves you out to dry. You're getting lit up. He doesn't give a crap. He just leaves you out there. He's like, you'll learn. They'll learn you. Don't touch a hot stove. Don't let up 5 goals in a period. They'll learn you.
I mean, yeah, well, there wasn't much. There really wasn't much help there from his teammates, but it was great. And I got to say, I don't think we got a chance to talk about it last night, Scotty, on After Dark. But that who the hell scored that goal that Jack assisted with that like really nice backhand? Brat's goal. That is. Yeah. I saw that assist by Jack, and I was just standing there like, whoa! It was like that for some reason. I like from where I was up in the nosebleeds in 208. Just seeing that unfold and seeing that pass come across the zone, it's like, oh man! It just kind of shows the what Jack can do, and we've seen him make a couple passes like that this season. But just seeing that in person like that unfold, I was like, oh my god! Even though it was that the 6th or 7th goal? It was a late goal.
Yeah.
By the way, was an unneeded goal, but it was still great.
A lot of people are saying on the YouTube live chat. By the way, what's up, everybody on the YouTube live chat? I'm sorry we can't really interact with everybody right now because it's going so damn quick. Every time I'm looking down, there's another comment. But I am seeing that there's a lot of people saying that Timo is going to be addressing the New Jersey media tonight at 9:45. So that's going to be pretty nice to hear.
Okay.
The chatter that's going on in the group, by the way, there's a lot of people that agree that the Devils should try to go get Bozer. Listen, man, I'll tell you what.
No, you don't need Bozer now. I don't think. Do you really need him now?
Yeah. Have you looked at that 4th line? Yeah, I know Bastian scored last night, but have you looked at that 4th line in quite some time? And now Zetterlund's gone, so he could have been that 4th piece on that bottom line, or the piece in that 4th line, but. The 4th line is super inconsistent. You need to get somebody.
Good.
Besser. I can't pronounce anything.
Yeah, it's Besser.
Boser, whatever. Besser. Sorry, ski mask boy. Besser. If you're just joining us, I can't pronounce people's names.
Yes, this is why you are and
boy,
and this is why you're known as and crew because people can't pronounce your name.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think I would.
I know, dude. I was having fun too. Don't worry about it.
For Besser, he's not. Nah. I don't think they need to go do that as well. Timo is going to bring a lot to this team. Now you have someone else. I mean, that 3rd line is so solid now. And you're replacing a Zetterlund in the lineup with a Timo Meier. That's a big change there.
That's a huge upgrade.
They need to shore up their defense. That's what they need to do.
So what do you suggest that they do to shore up the defense? Because any decent defenseman is going to cost you, a high-end pick. Are you willing to give up like a second-round pick?
You just gave up, probably 2 picks, right? 2 first-round picks. So yeah, it looks like the condition is if he re-signs, that'll turn into another first round. So that's 3 first-round picks there with Muhammadulin, as long as he re-signs. That you just sacrificed. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I definitely would stay away from Besser because that's Vancouver's going to ask for stuff like that. And yeah, you want to shore up your defense. We know Hoytuk is a stay-at-home D-man, probably. Your lower half, bottom 6 pairing, or bottom 3, but he also hits and he provides beef. Muhammadulin had a lot of potential as well as another. Not only on the off, he had a good offensive side, but he was a monster as well. He was a big boy, So we lost some beef there, Does Ball bring it as much? Not really as much as we thought he would. When you first look at him and you see this guy's 8 feet tall, and 200 whatever pounds, but he doesn't play like that physical bruising style that someone like an Hoytuk did, or even a Brendan Smith does. But Smith takes way too many penalties, and he's just he's a little slower now, and the Devils give up way too many odd man rushes and shorthanded opportunities. They need to shore up that defense. I don't think the offense was ever the problem. Hell, they're plus 40, plus 50 something on the offensive side of things.
High 40s, something like that. We're one of the tops in the league there, and offense is fine. It's the defensive side that we have to shore up. So that's if they make any more moves, which I don't know unless they're going to use a lot of these little pieces that we collected to make a further move.
Could be a possibility. They could also move somebody that you wouldn't think that they would move, but go ahead.
Max is saying that the conditional pick is if we get to the conference final. Is that what it is?
Okay.
Oh, heck yeah.
In the next 2 years. Otherwise, it's a second.
And so it has nothing to do with the extension. If that's right, then that's even better. If that's right, it's even better. And I know there's certain people that are freaking out about, he's not extended and da-da-da-da. Listen, they have a little time to do that.
Ball does have some eyebrows. I will say that. He does have the
murdering eyebrows. But
all uses eyebrows.
In my opinion, I think that the Devils need to, I don't know, maybe take a look at what the hell is it?
And he needs to play 50% of the games. Okay, thank you, Max.
All right,
that's another stipulation of that condition as well, which we would assume, barring any injury, that he would.
He'll play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I was just real quick looking up that goalie that we got. His stats were not all that great. I think it was in 12 games. In 12 games in the AHL, he had almost 4.5 goals against average.
Yeah, these seem to be some pretty bottom prospects there. These aren't anything to really write home about.
I'm wondering if these were hey, we'll take 50% of his salary for this year if you take these guys off our hands. Just for the Sharks to get rid of him. But yeah, that goaltender, real quick look, doesn't look like he's got all the greatest stats in the world. So that one's interesting. I was surprised.
What's that?
Go ahead. No, I was going to say that I was surprised that there were so many players that were swapped back and forth. I kind of figured that it would be Timo Meier coming and then us sending 2 or 3 the San Jose's way. So
but somebody brought up a good point. Nicholas on the YouTube live, Nicholas B said that the scrap we just got back from San Jose is to keep them within their roster limits, which that could also be true. So
that could be. Yep.
I mean, maybe that's why it's like a almost even trade, because obviously we're getting rid of on Andreas Janssen because that was a salary dump. They didn't really need him or want him. There's no way they were like, hey, a dude that hasn't played all year sounds great. And, so that part of it was just a salary dump. So it might have been like, all right, well, we have to exchange, person for person for this just to make it work. So I don't know. Listen, whatever happens, like this might be a part of something different. Even if this is the only move, actually, let me rephrase that. If this is the only move that Fitzgerald makes for the trade deadline, are you happy with that? So I'll pose that question to everybody out on YouTube Live, on Facebook Live, on Twitter, everywhere else that that we have going on right now. If this is the only move that the Devils make, are you okay with this? Are you okay with how the team looks and how they are right now going forward? To be honest, my personal opinion, I would be okay. I wouldn't mind if they'd made one more move. Hopefully not at the expense of somebody like a Dawson Mercer. I don't want to make a ridiculous move. I don't think he's going anywhere, but you never know. Things could get crazy. But I wouldn't be too disappointed if this was it. If this is the only move they make, then great. Cool. Let's roll with it.
I think so. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would like to see better defense, but we do have some good defenders already on this team. Maybe it's just they need to play a little bit better. But yeah, I would think they would be done unless there is something for like some sort of. I mean, Harrington is kind of a depth defenseman though, so I mean, so you already have like a little bit of backup there, and well, I mean, that's funny. I almost said you could call up Oytuk, but there are some other guys down there in not anymore. There are some other defensemen that, I mean, we've all talked about, the idea of Luke Hughes joining this team as well before the season is up. So there might be a spot right there that's already taken. So I wouldn't be surprised. This might be it. And I'd be fine with that.
It's possible
if that was the case.
Yeah, because
now you're looking at these two top lines with, if you're going to move, man, does that mean you move Tatar away from Nico, or do you move Dawson Mercer away from Nico? Those three have been so well together. What do you do with Bratt now? That's going to be the big question in the offseason is, the re-signing of both of these guys, Timo and Jesper Bratt. That's going to be huge doing for Fitzy. But, I mean, the different line combinations that you can pull out here, and then you still have, that third line that was really playing well, almost in like that shutdown mode with Haula and Palat and Sharon Govich. Or no, wait, Sharon Govich has moved up with Jackie Boy. Maybe Sharon Govich moves back down. I don't know, but you have a lot more possibilities, and especially kudos to Lindy for a few weeks or a couple games ago, really giving these lines a really nice reshuffling. He's just added, an ace in the hole right there with Timo Meier to reshuffle once again, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Sam Wu. I see you pop in here. What are you thinking?
Sam Wu's got words of
wisdom. I have a couple. I'm still processing it, so I'm gonna say it as I'm still thinking. Did it for at least for the, let's talk about the short term, the playoff run. What did this solve? Did it solve all the Devils' problems? No. But the Devils can roll four lines right now offensively, because with Timo Meier in the top six, we've always felt that the Achilles heel with the Devils for a long time now was that third line. Now there's depth, and if you take whoever's on the outs from the top six and put them on the third line, you can literally wear down opponents, especially if the fourth line, which has a lot of beef on it, it'll do very well in the playoffs. In terms of defensively, I think whether Tom Fitzgerald's not done. No way. There's still 3 or 4 days, 4 or 5 days left to make a deal.
Okay.
For 3 p.m. 3 p.m. deadline. But right now he's traded those assets. I was, people have asked me, and I want to clear the air here so there's no misinterpretation. I like Timo Meier. I was just worried about how much you have to give of the future because let's put it this way. That pipeline for 2023 and 2024, those 2 first rounders and whatever they gave up, it's a little disruption, but it's not a big disruption. But it's actually a disruption.
It's a disruption. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but you can also think that there might be other moves to be had. That's not to say that he can't flip. I know Scotty was saying like the defense, like they can't really afford to get rid of anybody like Severson, for example. But Severson is a UFA this year. Am I wrong about that?
No,
so Severson is
him.
Well, Severson's a UFA. So now you're in his position. If you cannot sign him, or if you know you're not going to bring him back for the end of the year or at the end of the year, do you try to move Severson right now?
Yeah.
And you could easily get some picks for him in exchange. I'm not saying you're going to get a first-round pick unless you get a team that's super desperate. I mean, he is a very serviceable defenseman. Is he a guy that's going to demand the market when he becomes a UFA? No, but he'll get a team that's going to pay him a decent amount of money. Now, you could take him and flip him for picks.
You didn't let me finish, Beer Baron.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I got too excited.
No, you make a very good point, but it now all boils down to does Timo sign long term? It could be a very expensive rental. This is what I was afraid of because what got me during this whole negotiations the last 3 weeks with the rumors were, and this is why I was kind of getting antsy about Timo, why aren't they allowing Tom Fitzgerald to sign that extension? Why does Tom Fitzgerald have to take that risk? But in the end, the Devils were left standing, the last one standing. They got Timo Meier. Great job, Fitzy. But it still remains to be seen.
And crew.
And it's going to be 5.
I gotta calm down and crew. All right, I will, Felix. Don't you worry. I hate you all so much.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. You know, Sam, the next time he starts going on a rant like that and interrupting you, you do have the power.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I do have the power
mute him.
To just mute Beer Baron. I forgot about that. But in all seriousness, I mean, it'll take us probably till maybe at most probably about 2 or 3 years to figure out if Tom Fitzgerald really do well here. It's all about that extension right now and how much for Timo Meier.
Yeah, because that's also going to affect, the Brat talks as well. And I know some people say, about Severson. I'm of the thinking that you trade Severson, you move Severson. We do have some other defensemen that can be worked in the lineup. I mean, it could be the reason why they picked up Harrington as well. But if you move Severson, what?
Nothing. Somebody said, "Are we complaining about that trade?" And I said, "No, we're not at all."
No, I'm just kind of picking it apart.
Yeah, we're analyzing it.
Oh man!
So if you move Severson, you try to get some of those like kind of picks and stuff back because one way or another, him or Graves, both of them are not coming back next year. Now that you have Timo and Brat that you need to re-sign, my thinking is you re-sign Ryan Graves over Damon Severson.
Yeah. I would 100%. I would.
So
by the way, I have to
try to move him. Damon by the trade deadline.
I have to say, last night. So I met Max at the American Whiskey event last night.
We met so many people last night.
We met a lot of people.
Yeah,
Supernova.
Certainly did.
Max.
Supernova, Max, Art Heaton.
Yep. Dude, there's a lot of people out there. But
Auntie, you guys weren't there for that one.
So the funniest thing is as walking
Peter,
by Max.
Peter Seeger.
Peter was there, yep. So I saw Max. I was like, hey, he says, what's up? Or, he introduced me to his brother.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. OMI was there. And, it was funny. Right before I walked away, Max goes, by the way, the final score of the game is going to be 7-2. At first, although he did say it was going to be 7-0, and then he changed it to 7-2. So he was right on the nose. And during the game, I'm not kidding. During the game, during the game when the Devils put up 5, I was like, damn, man. I'm like, Max is pretty on point with this one. I was like, if they get to 7, Max, next time I see you, buddy, I'll buy you a beer on that one. That was a hell of a guess. But, yeah, he was dead on the nose on that one. But going back
according
to
Shane,
trades,
we got 3.1 million cap space as of right now. Okay,
which is good.
Okay.
That's not a bad chunk of change.
By
the way,
that's good to acquire. I mean, and Severson's got what, a $4 or $5 million tag on him right now. I think he's around 4, right?
Let me take a look.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
So there's something about it. We all love the deal. We'll put it that way. We all like the deal. Some of us like it more than others. I think I like it more than some of you guys. That's okay. There was at one point that the deal was being held up, and a few people, I think it was Elliot Friedman, was saying that the deal was being held up because there was an injury concern with a player. They would not speculate on who the player was. They would not reveal who the player was. And the end result of the deal, that player might have not been involved in the trade at all. So let me think about this for a second, because there's a couple guys that are injured right now that could be holding up the deal, or were holding up the deal.
Black.
Could it have been Mac Black, or could it have been Holtz? Because isn't Holtz out on injury right now too? So is it a possibility that they were like, we want Holtz right now, and the Devils were like, that dude's hurt. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's got a bum arm or something like that. Or could it be Mac Black? Because that's another name that's been thrown out there. And after last night's performance, pitching his first shutout, Akira Schmid looked amazing. And cool, calm, collected. I mean, making saves that it wasn't like the Flyers were taking easy shots on him last night. Like, there were a lot of high danger shots on him, and he played pretty damn well. So
Isaac is saying that it was a Hoytuk got dinged up or something. Was it a Hoytuk? I didn't hear about it. Well, maybe it happened when he went back down into the AHL. I'm not sure. But actually, a couple people are saying it was a Hoytuk. I was right there with you. I really thought it was Mac Black. Looking at the San Jose goaltending situation, you would think they would want to make some sort of move. I was actually one thing I'm really happy about is the person that you just named. I'm glad that last night wasn't a little showcase for Akira Schmid, to be on the move, because
we talked about that. I know
Shorts Guy and I talked about it on Devils After Dark. Like, he looks like, and Nico Dawes ain't no slump either over there down in the. He was our only AHL All-Star this year for the Comets. Was Nico Dawes, but Akira Schmid, Akira Schmid, right?
Schmid. Who knows? Don't ask me; I'll get it wrong.
Really seems like he is going to be an important piece to this franchise, I think, in the goaltending situation moving forward.
He showed some promise.
He showed definitely a lot of promise. I mean, my first thought when they were talking about an injury was I didn't even think of Mac Black. I just thought of Holtz automatically, of him being the potential injury holdup. But I didn't even think that Mac Black would have been on the move. But man, I will say this, out of this whole trade, you kind of have to feel for someone like Zetterlund, who was doing pretty well here. He was on an up-and-coming team, about to make the playoffs. Life is good. And now you're a San Jose Shark.
I like everybody keeps bringing up the point. They're like Lindy Ruff told him to buy somewhere. And I was like, yeah, but he didn't tell him where to buy it.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? But the thing is, for Zetterlund, he's going to really, and same thing with a Hoytuk and Mohamedulin, and even Andreas Janssen, who we know has played at the NHL level for, a good portion of his career here. They're all going to get opportunities to really play and be in the lineup on a consistent, regular basis. I mean, we saw a Hoytuk there for 2 weeks, and it was like, all right, I like the way this kid pounds people. He's just a force out there. And then he sat for 12 games straight. And then they eventually sent him back down, to the AHL. We've seen that with Holtz as well. glad Holtz didn't get moved because I still think that dude is going to have a monster rocket of a shot. But either way, like all 4 of these guys are going to get solid, consistent playing time. So in a sense, you should be happy for them. Yeah, they're going to a worse team, but they're going to get their full-blown opportunity with this team no matter what. And where there have been times where players make a mistake, we've seen it happen to Ball. We've seen it happen to Hoytuk. Lindy kind of yanks him from the lineup real quick. We've seen it happen to Holtz. You know, these players are going to get their time to go out there on the ice, and they're going to get consistent playing time, you know, in a number of games with the San Jose Sharks. So good for them. You know, like I didn't really want to see a Hoytuk or Muhammadulin get moved, but you know, you got to pay a little to get a little. That's for sure. You know, the draft pick situation may come back to bite us at some point, but in essence as well, like Timo is a young guy. If it'll come back to bite us if he doesn't resign.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Yeah.
If he doesn't resign, the potential of 3 first-round picks there with Muhammadulin and the conditional, you know, that may come back to haunt us. But at the same time, Fitzy is a smart dude, and I'm sure some of these expiring contracts, like a Damon Severson, I don't think he's not getting a first rounder for Severson, but he can probably, you know, maybe stockpile some things with some of these other moves as well. And you do have a lot of money coming off the books. I don't know what they're going to do with, you know, Tatar. He might be an interesting person to re-sign as like the big bro on the team. We talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that on Devils After Dark so many times about he just has that like big brother mentality, you know, with all these young kids out there. You know, you got Palat, you know, for the next, 5 years. Halla. Does Halla come back at a cheaper rate? Maybe. That might be an interesting thing. I don't think Miles Wood is coming back. I think Nolan Foote will be ready to replace him next season. You know, Bastian and McLeod aren't going to cost you too much. You know, and how about Mikey? Did Mikey give you a wink in the eye? Did he give you a little wink last night in the crowd when he threw down that fight?
I got to
like, this was for Beer Baron.
I was like, I stuck up for you. I stuck up for you for so long. No, I was.
Like, Sealer, stop talking about Beer Baron.
The thing is, the fourth line, I love the fourth line. It just drives me crazy that like their production they need to score. They need to score more. They can't just go out there and like they do. Listen, Mikey goes out there, he wins important face-offs. You know, they go out there, they throw the body around. They actually had a hell of a game last night. But in perspective, you're looking at the Flyers. So you're playing the Flyers, you're not playing Boston. You had a hell of a game against a team that you should have beat. We beat the hell out of the Flyers, but we should have beaten the hell out of the Flyers. If we could put up a strong, consistent effort against a team, I don't know, like Boston. Because if you look at last night's game, you can look at it in a couple different ways.
Do you have to shoot for the record-breaking team this year? Yeah, we gotta say Boston.
Yes.
Can we say like Carolina first?
We walk into prison, you find the biggest guy in the courtyard, and you punch him right in the face, and hope that you don't get pummeled.
Team that's only lost 8 games so far this entire season.
I know. That doesn't mean anything. No, playoffs are a whole different beast. But
we're going to be able to do it as long as that defense can shore up. If McGill can get these guys playing, you know, tight again, it's just there's just so many rushes that they give up.
There's so many openings. There's so many but and that's what I was about to say.
The offense is going to be insane.
Game. But
the offense is going to be insane, especially now with Timo. Yeah.
If you look at last night's game, it's a perfect microcosm of like what the team is going through right now because that first period was atrocious. Akira made some beautiful saves to really keep the Devils from going down 1-0, 2-0. There was a good possibility.
First period blues.
The Flyers could have pounced on the Devils, and if they were a better team, if that was a team that was like Carolina, that was a team even like the any team that's around the area where the Devils are right now, that's a 2-goal deficit going into the second period, 100%, because they had their opportunities, they just couldn't finish on them. Then the team comes out in the second period, and it's like Jack Hughes. I was joking with I was actually sitting with Nick Villano last night at the game, which was a lot of fun. And him and I were talking about it. That first period, we're like, what the hell? What is going on with this team? They come out in the second. They look like a completely different team. I was like, did Scott Stevens come down into the locker room and just start punching people in the face? Like, you ever seen that video of that soccer coach that's going around the locker room just slapping people in the face? Like, what are you doing? Bang. I was like, did Scott Stevens come down there and just start body checking people into the wall? Because they came out as a completely different team. They need to be consistent in the first period and it's throughout the game. But I mean, you're right. The defense needs to be tightened up and shored up. Because for a while they were playing, the defense wasn't even a concern. I don't know.
I just wanted to throw this out there. I think Max and Wyatt, by the way, are both they hit the nail on the head here about, or was this Swamp Fox? The Sharks aren't going to realize what they got for another year or two. They're basically going the route of what the Devils did, and stockpiling picks and trying to get all that sort of stuff. So I think it's a really good move from their part. Apparently, Timo is expected to meet the Devils in Denver. That's per Amanda Stein. Thank you, Whistler. Okay. And Two Beast. Yeah, the new defensemen don't look like Mohamedulin or Ahoytuk type prospects.
Tom just made a really good point, and it kind of piggybacks off of what you just said. Tom May said, yeah, people hated the Hall trade, but in hindsight, we did well, and we got Ball and Mercer out of it. So,
you could bring Sam Wu
and
in about
Siegenthaler
that
and Siegenthaler too. There was Siegenthaler, Ball, and Mercer were in that trade. So yeah, you look at a trade at the time, it sucks sometimes, especially when it's a star player.
Anthony's got a great point here too on the old YouTube. These next 3 out of 4, we know we're the road warriors, but the next 3 out of 4 are Colorado, Vegas. You get a little break there with Arizona, but then you got Toronto right after that. So you got 3 powerhouse teams.
Arizona's not a pushover.
No, they're not.
But they're not Vegas or Toronto. Or Colorado.
They're similar. They're similar to the Flyers in the sense of you look at the record and you're like, this team's not good, but they'll play you hard. They'll go out there and
I know they're
got people like Keller that can score.
I like those Arizona jerseys with the maroon and the kind of the script writing with the Arizona on it. I kind of like those.
They wore them. They wore them for the first time when I was out there, so I got to see those in person. They're very sharp jerseys when you see them in person too.
Yeah, I was just seeing the highlights up on NHL Network with it, and I like those jerseys. I think those are pretty sharp.
Yeah, they are.
Devil's Joint is giving away.
Right, yeah.
Giving away a 90s Sharks starter jersey on YouTube. It's pretty funny.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Overall, I feel like it's a great trade, but go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I can't get the feeling out of my gut that Fitzgerald is not done. I feel like he's got something up his sleeve. I don't know if it's going to be another big time trade. I doubt it. I think this is like the cake or the whatever. Like this is the big part of it. And, now this is the steak, and now we'll get the potatoes and whatever else you want on the side. I think he's going to do a couple smart moves to shore up this team, because I feel like he's looking at what this team is and he's saying, we're ready to do this. In the beginning of the year, we kept saying, if the Devils can sustain what they're doing throughout this season, past All-Star break, even leading up to All-Star break, if the Devils can consistently stay where they are in the standings, if they can, consistently go in, night out, and play the way that, they're playing right now, then we'll start taking them seriously. And they're doing that. They're doing that. And it's cool to see that the GM is like, all right, let's go, boys. If you're ready, let's go.
Yeah.
And I think he's ready to let it ride.
And we're going to have to, and then we'll see where we end up here with this, with the Severson situation as well. Two Beasts, I forgot. I was thinking the prospects, one's a forward, one's a defenseman. And then Scott Harrington is a la, like a Brendan Smith, like a bottom pairing defenseman who's kind of like I think he's 29 or 30, somewhere around there. A little bit of like a journeyman kind of defenseman. So he would probably double as your extra. Now, and then if you move Severson, then you got, Dougie and Siegs, you got Gravy and Marino, and then you're going to have a Smith, a Ball, possibly a Luke Hughes, and a Harrington there for your bottom pairing. So,
which I brought this up to Nick last night when we were watching the game. Luke Hughes, when he's ready to come up, what if you brought him up as a winger?
no.
And just hear me out.
Well,
Hear me out. Listen to what I'm saying. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not like they would be the first team to ever do something like that. But you bring him in as like a fourth line winger because you know he has offensively he can produce, or it looks like he could produce. But do you really want to trust him defensively? Do you really want to trust a rookie coming out of college? If assuming that I doubt they'd bring him right into the NHL because they'd probably have to do an AHL stint before he went into the NHL lineup. But if they did try to drop him straight into it, you want to trust him defensively? Have you watched him play in Michigan, like defensively?
Yeah. I would rather have him play his actual position than putting him into a position that he doesn't play, where he's bound to make countless mistakes and be out of position and everything like that. Yeah.
Oh, Sam just said that Timo's going to be wearing number 96.
Oh, very nice.
Like
look at that. Carlos come through with that as well. Very nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Nice. Oh, they must have just announced that in the press conference that they're doing.
Bill, why would Severson be leaving? Because he's a UFA and trust the unibrow and ball. Because he's a UFA, and when you start getting down to it, who are you going to resign? Ball or Graves? I mean, Graves or Severson. You know, this Timo. That's what there's one thing. You know, this Timo and Bratt are gonna cost a pretty penny next year. And you're going to want to keep both of them. That's going to be a lot of money tied up into 2 contracts. So Severson is going to be, I'm sure, looking for a raise. He's not going to be looking for, a pay downgrade. He's going to go somewhere where he's going to try and get some more money and a long-term contract. Mm. So I'm saying you move him now for some assets if you can, and try to regain a little bit more of some of the draft capital that you just lost in the Timo trade. You're not going to get a first-round pick, obviously. We've said that. But just to try to get a little bit of some depth, maybe you can make some other moves, package some picks, whatever. You never know what fits he can pull off because, like we like to call him, Tom Fleece-Gerald. It looks like Sam Wu has got an update.
Yeah, this is pretty important coming from Amanda Stein's Twitter account about 15 minutes ago and 4 minutes ago. Tom Fitzgerald says we will start at some point to ink his name on a long-term deal. I think New Jersey will sell itself, meaning to Timo Meier. And the other thing, too, Timo Meier said about 4 minutes ago, I'm just your typical power forward. I like to shoot the puck and try to get to the net in those areas where I can be a threat to score. So that's what you're getting out of Timo Meier, and that's what the Devils totally needed because, we talked about screening the goalie and Nathan Basham, but Timo Meier is on a different planet when it comes to that kind of stuff. And that's going to help the power play because that power play is going to be so deadly right now when you have Jack Hughes, Dougie Hamilton, Nico Hischier, Brad.
Oh, my gosh.
And
it's
like
Timo
an
embarrassment of riches.
So a 6-on-4 empty net, if Vanacek has to leave, that firepower is unbelievable at this point.
Let's stop getting ourselves in those situations, though, shall we?
Yes, that would be nice.
Having to pull the goalie.
Yeah.
Can we stop doing it?
I have a better idea.
I enjoy it. We've been doing really good at it.
I got a better idea. It wouldn't be so expensive.
Good Bill, by the way.
It wouldn't be so expensive to get Timo Meier if we just drafted him in the first place. Instead, we got Pavel Zacha. Now it's Eric Holla. I mean, let's be honest here.
We're righting a wrong. We're righting a wrong right now. That's all we're doing. We're righting the wrong.
That's what we're doing.
It's all full circle now. It's all full circle. Yeah, but I don't know. The defense is gonna be something. Devil's Joint saying Severson up in Edmonton. Hey, Edmonton's, I know they're trying to land Carlson with some crazy deal. That would work fine with me because, Edmonton has made some boneheaded decisions before when it comes to some of these deals. So, but for me personally, I'm thinking that Severson try to get something for him now.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you're
instead of letting
re-signing
him
him in the offseason. Yeah, instead of just letting him walk for nothing, he's a quality defenseman that you could probably get something for. And then you re-sign the gravy train. What's that?
I think Severson gets hated on way too much by Devil fans. I mean, he's had some bonehead plays. We get that.
He's good on the bottom pairing, but when he moves up,
you put the pressure on, when he's a bottom pairing, it's amazing.
Yeah, but if you're gonna have Luke coming through, if you're gonna have Simone Nemec coming through, if you just picked up Harrington, you have Ball, you have Brendan Smith. You got 5 guys there for 3 spots almost. 2 spots.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm thinking, like I said, you can get something for him.
I'll tell you what,
Brendan
I'm
Smith,
glad
you're not going to get
happened.
as much for.
Yeah, I'm glad this trade happened before the deadline. I know the deadline day is super exciting because it's always like, oh, what's going to happen? And like NHL deadline day is a lot of fun, but I'm glad that this happened before, and we didn't have to wait any longer because the build up to this was getting to the point where it's like, just do it or don't. Just get it over with at this point. So I'm glad that it's done. Super pumped that he's, Timo's now a Devil, but I don't know, man.
Swamp Fox, nobody knows where a cornhole, I think, is off in some like utopia somewhere that the Devils finally landed Timo Meier. I don't know where he is. I don't think I've seen it. Yeah, he's screaming in the sky right now. Yeah, I don't know where he is. He's just like skipping out in the joy, like through the rain and stuff like that. I think he's or I don't know. Maybe he's starting the Timo Meier fan club page right now. That's what he might be doing.
It's starting a page to rival the Brat Pack. Then they'll have like a dual outing.
Maybe he's on a call right now with Timo. And that
he's on a
It's on a pressure right now.
Maybe he's the one picking Timo up from the airport.
Okay, so all right, so we're also gonna have to learn a little bit the Timo pack. Yeah, we're gonna have to learn about some of these some of these prospects that San Jose sent our way. The Finnish kid, what was his name? Hataka.
Well, so Ricky, we got to give credit to our friend here who's a Sharks fan in the group right now. Ricky is telling us that he's basically the gentleman that you're saying, Hataka, who sounds like the wrestler from the 90s, is actually a really good, a decent depth defenseman for you in a year or two. He's like, I honestly cannot believe that they included him in the trade. So that's great. We'll take you at your word.
Thank you, Ricky. You got 2 good defensemen yourself with Mohamed Doolin and Hoytuk. And I'm actually happy. I was a big fan. You guys know me. I loved the grit and the beef that Hoytuk brought to his game. You saw when he was in the lineup, those hits started piling up a lot more. So I'm actually happy for the guy because he's going to get like some actual decent playing time over there in San Jose.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we don't have to, face him. He's not like he's playing on the Rangers or the Capitals or the Islanders or something like that. So he's going to be out west here, and he'll be part of the Big Three of California. And the Sharks in a couple of years, they'll be a good team again. Right now they're on the down, much like the Devils were a few years ago. But I think Greer has learned from Tom Fitzgerald. He's getting these draft picks. He's starting to stockpile. He's starting to create that pipeline, which the Devils did. Of course, they took a couple side steps there, but in the long run, as Sam Wood will tell you, that Taylor Hall trade, even though that we had that 1 year that kind of was a lot of fun, but it kind of set us back, I think, a little bit. But then the trade of Taylor Hall really pushed us forward in a new direction. And we're still reaping the benefits of that right now, especially with Dawson Mercer. So, and Kevin Ball. There's been so many things that came from that trade that, We'll see. But I think the Sharks in a few years there'll be a team back on the rise again, as long as Greer and the Sharks fans don't go crazy because I hear they're already calling for him to be fired. But we were saying the same thing, for a little while. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And, what are they doing?
Yeah, and now you see, the fruit of all the pain that we went through. With all these players maturing basically at the same time. And as Devils fans, we know like they are playing this season a lot better than any of us ever would have dreamed. Nobody would have had this team here. I had this team pegged to be kind of like where the Islanders are right now, fighting in for those wild card positions,
Yep.
That's where I thought they would be, not sitting comfortably, in second place here in this, in the Metro, and third overall in the NHL, especially in the Beastern Conference, which is just light years ahead, I feel, of the Western Conference right now. Like they've outplayed themselves, and they're not hitting their peak yet. They're not even entering their prime just yet. They're getting there. They're almost about it. So just wait. It's going to get even better. Like Samu says, yeah. Jack Hughes might be a 60-60 guy at some point.
That would be wild. That would be absolutely wild. It's all like you said, all the years of crap we had to go through, and now we're really looking at it like, wow, this is just the start. That's what's even better. This is just the beginning.
If you think about it, if we don't draft Nico that year, this trade doesn't happen, because apparently Tom Fitzgerald was also like having lengthy conversations with Nico about Timo, and I'm pretty sure that has a lot to do. If he signs long term, this has a lot to do with it. Nico Siegenthaler. Look, Siegenthaler took a team-friendly deal this summer to stay with the Devils, knowing
his
this team is going
up too.
It goes, it goes up. It goes up. It doesn't go up like significantly. Not that.
It goes up significant. For him, it does.
From 3 to what? If it goes up to like 6, then yeah,
more than I'll ever make.
No, it's not that much, but for him, it's Siegenthaler is 1.1 this season. He goes up to 3.4 after that.
That's not that bad.
And then you got Marino at 4.4 locked up. You got Dougie at 9 locked up. But Siegs is locked up to the same amount as Dougie, basically, till 27-28 at 3.4. It's a really good deal, but he gets a hefty pay raise after this year. That's why, when you look at Severson, who right now is at 4.1, and Ryan Graves, who's at 3.1, I'm feeling like the gravy train might be up closer, maybe in that 4.5 to 5 range, which is going to push
5.
You can't.
Not 5.
You don't think they'll?
I wouldn't. Gravy would probably be.
If Marino's making 4.4, and that's his defensive.
He's right, and he's right in that same window. I think Marino's
25 years old.
Yeah, I think
right.
Marino's
Graves is 27. I'm sorry, he's 27. I was looking at the wrong.
Yeah, so this is going to be one of his big last. This could potentially be one of Graves' big last long-term contracts. So he's going to.
Yeah, but even if he makes 3-5, or even if he makes 4-5, that's a hell of a contract. That's a hell of a contract, and he's not worth over. If he's asking like 5 or 6 or something like that, you go, well, thanks for your service.
I don't know if he's going to get 6, but I could definitely see him.
Definitely not getting that out.
The 4.5 to 5 range.
Mm-hmm. I think 4.5 would be good for him.
And then hopefully you can lock him up long term as well. But then you gotta start thinking about the Dawson Mercers. Sharon Govich is a restricted free agent this year.
Yeah, we don't want to get ourselves
obviously.
into a situation where we can't resign anyone.
Yeah. Jesper Bratt,
we have to be careful.
Obviously. Jesper Boquist, Bastian, McLeod. I said Igor. You got a lot of restricted free agents this year.
Someone's hero might be out the door.
Mackenzie Blackwood. is a restricted free agent this year. What's he making this year? He's at 2.8. I'm really shocked that he was not part of the trade deal. I'll tell you the truth.
Well, he's on. I think he's on the IR right now, and that's probably why.
Injury.
I don't think you can trade. You can't trade anybody that's on IR. And I think he went on IR.
Oh, he is. You're right. He is.
He's on the IR.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Well, just in the sense of San Jose's goaltending situation is not the best. So
not much of San Jose is the best.
Not right now. Well, their prospect pipeline is getting a little better right now.
Yes,
I think Mohamedulin is
only in the last 2 hours.
Yeah, Mohamedulin I think might be a stud defenseman in this league. We know he has some issues going back and forth with Russia, and he wanted to stay there a little bit longer than usual with players, but he did come over to North America. He did, I think he's got a lot of talent. Ahoytuk should be a great, great defenseman, like stay-at-home defenseman. Or maybe not great, but he should be more than serviceable. And Zetterlund's got the opportunity to be, kind of like that second line or third line dude that can really maybe have a little bit of beef and maybe have some more offensive pop as well. And we know Mango is going to hustle his heart out because he's going to be playing for a contract and everything like that too. Mm-hmm. And I think San Jose, and plus all the draft picks that they got too, like I think San Jose got themselves a pretty good deal because they're obviously trying to get out of the Timo situation. They're trying to get out of the Carlson situation with those big monster contracts.
Yep. As we're getting close to the end, and maybe we'll start doing our final thoughts here on this amazing Sunday, a Devils Sunday, indeed, because it's nice to see that the Devils are getting headlines left and right for good reasons too, which is, it's a good thing. It's not like, oh, look at this team just implode on itself on the ice. I guess my final thought is I hope that Fitzgerald looks at the team and really evaluates it past this trade. You have this trade. This is amazing. I feel like this is going to put the Devils in the right direction. It seems like Timo hopefully will be signing here long term. What that does for other players such as Bratt, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But in the immediate present right now, it's an amazing trade, and it's great for this team. I hope he takes a good look at it and says, well, what else can we do realistically to help this team get past the Hurricanes, get competitive with the Bruins, get competitive with teams at the top of the conference? Because, yes, we are sitting third in the league, but let's not forget, we're going to go into the playoffs against teams that have been there, done that before. So what else can we add to this team that is going to help push us forward? Not even push us over the top. Just keep pushing us forward. Push us forward into the right direction because that's what he's been doing. And it's exciting. It's an exciting day.
Yeah, I'll go next. It's an exciting day. The deal that we were all waiting for finally got done. Let's just hope that I just want him signed long term. If we're going to bring him in for this cost, make sure that deal gets done.
Yep. Ronaldo, you're awesome too, bud.
Yeah, no, everyone is awesome here. And Anthony and Nick, what is a UFA? He's not an RFA. I don't think he'll be back on the team, really. I think Nolan Foote will probably replace him. And I don't know if Fitzy can even move him for much right now because Miles Wood I don't know, maybe he's still recovering from that massive hip surgery and needs a full season before he can really get back into the groove on things. But we'll see. Thank you, Al, by the way. I am pretty exhausted, not going to lie. Flying in, flying back out. But yeah, it was so nice meeting everyone, get to meet Shorts Guy for the first time.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my God.
So
forgot about that.
Yeah, we've always just been virtual, so
yeah.
Actually getting
we've
to
been
meet
internet
everyone over here.
We've been internet friends.
Yeah. Internet friends for years now. But yeah, Max and oh my goodness, and Art, and Supernova, Auntie, man, just so many people. I know I'm forgetting a lot of people too as well, but just got a chance. Who was our crew from Virginia Beach that came up?
Kayla and Brendan.
Kayla and Brendan.
And they all
bought a lot
shirts
of T-shirts
too. So yeah. I would like to personally thank anyone and everyone that bought a T-shirt yesterday. So I really truly appreciate that. So thank you to everyone that bought merch, because that made printing on a Friday night all worth it. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Durango, Steve, Hans. We met so many people that I always see their names in the chats and everything like that. So yeah, I'm excited about this. Sorry, I'm a little jet lagged right now, but and I'm trying to read about these prospects so we can give you guys like some good analysis and everything like that. But just want to say a big thank you to everyone who came out yesterday for the festivities. It was an absolute blast. And thank you to DJ Shelley as well for providing all that music. Getting to meet Peyton and Alejandra and Ariel, all these faces that I just see pop into the camera at the bar every now and then. It was great to actually just, really sit there and talk with them and hang out with them, and just really appreciative and thank you for all the support. And of course, a big thank you to Mr. Sam Wu, who is, the man behind the scenes here, who really puts all this together, who you may not know or not, but the internet was down yesterday in Newark, New Jersey, particularly in American whiskey. And Sam Wu, not only did he get us up on the, on live and everything like that, but if you happen to have been at American whiskey yesterday and you paid with your debit card or your credit card, you could thank Sam Wu for that, because the credit card machines were not working for quite some time because they had no internet until the Wu came along and said, "Oh, that'll just cost you a few Wu bucks and I'll get you up and running." So if you happen to have paid with your card yesterday and not cash,
if you see a surcharge, if you see a sudden surcharge,
a Wu charge,
a Wu charge.
100% of those proceeds goes to my Swiss bank account.
Yeah.
Well, Nunez to our Nunez. Yeah, there we go. And by the way, Sam Wu didn't eat that pizza, by the way. He only ate salad yesterday and only healthy things. We had him at steamed broccoli.
Yes.
That pizza was all Shorts Guy. That was all Shorts Guy and me. Yeah. That wasn't Sam Wu.
Yes.
And that Taylor hamburger.
I only took a picture of the Taylor hamburger.
By the way, just so you know, Scotty, Cornhole just entered the building, so he's he's taking his bows, taking his bows. Listen, man.
Looks like we got to wrap up.
What a day. And time to go.
All right, one last thought. For all the
congratulations,
new people,
Cornhole.
For all the new people joining us, subscribe to our Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, like our Facebook page, at Let's Go Devils Podcast. On Twitter, follow us at Let's Go Devils Pod. And at our YouTube channel, Let's Go Devils. Really appreciate it, and we'll have a Wu report tomorrow and Tuesday, Wednesday. We're back to, we're going to have a little scheduling conflict because we have that Wednesday game, so we have Game Day Live plus State of the Fan Address. And then, what else? Devils After Dark after the game. So it's going to be a triple header. Wednesday. We're back in action. Podcasts every day. Also, our next events, the Devils Rangers game at American Whiskey. I believe it's March 30th. We'll be there live, full event mode. Shorts Guy's going to lead the crowd and crowd surf at the bar this time around. Also, April 13th.
Oh, yeah.
April 13th. Last game of the season, we will be at Stagehouse Tavern in Mountainside, New Jersey with Arlette. It's going to be a viewing party. We're putting it together right now. If you're in Union County, New Jersey, come stop by. It's actually near Beer Baron where he's at. And
yeah, sort of. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
And thanks to Arlette for coming by.
Oh, yeah, Arlette.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I shared a beer with Arlette. That was pretty fun.
Oh,
yes,
that's
you did.
cool.
She needed to wet the whistle before she sang, and she's like, "Anybody got water?" And I was like, "I got this delicious beer." And she said, "I'll take that." I said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't care."
And she sang a beautiful rendition of America
Oh my
Beautiful
God, that was
at
amazing.
American Whiskey. So we'll put that up on the podcast as well, on the podcast pages as well. We got to do that. So thank you very much. It was a great day here. The trade has happened finally.
Finally.
Decision
the
was
saga
made.
is over.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a while to see if Fitzy really fleeced the San Jose Sharks. But you know what? I'm pretty happy right now. I think everybody should be happy because the Devils, they're a top-tier team. They're heading that direction.
I think it was a fair trade. I think it was a fair trade on both sides.
During the negotiations, do you think during the negotiations,
San Jose gets the picks. Devils get their big stud winger. I think it's a fair trade on both sides. It's going to take a little while for San Jose to really reap those benefits, as we've seen. But I think it's a fair trade on both sides. And don't forget, Greer and Fitzy know each other, and Fitzy's brother is the head scout of the San Jose Sharks.
A little inside trading. Do you think Fitzy was ever like, "We're going to need a bigger boat when dealing with the Sharks"? Hey. All right, on that note, sign us out of here. Get us out of here, Sam. It's past hours. Let's go.
Till next time, let's go Devils.